Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the latest edition of Fran Coach's Franchising 101 podcast. I am Tim Parmeter, founder and CEO of Fran Coach and your podcast host. Today we are going to talk about kind of a portion of there's 3 main things that you really need to focus on when trying to find your absolute best franchise. We've talked about this before, but there's one little component of that, which is the tricky, sticky, confusing, scary labor side of things. So we're going to go through all the different things you need to think about within this and how that rolls into one of the top 3 things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. That's next. First, quick reminder of who we are. Fran Coach is the premier franchise consulting firm. Our number one goal is not to sell you a franchise. We don't sell anything, folks. Our job is to properly educate you on franchise ownership, to first determine if you should own one. And if so, then we're going to help you find your absolute best fit. Not anybody else's, not mine, your absolute best fit. This is a completely individualized and personalized process focused on, guess what, folks? You. So as you are going through this and you are thinking about things, what the heck do you need to be thinking about? So the 3 things, we've talked about this before, but it's always worth repeating because there's a lot of noise out there in the franchising space, especially now, on the shiny object or things that might be a little misleading, especially from a financial perspective. Top 3 things, the 3 most important things you need to focus on to find your best fit is, first and foremost, without question, it is you and your role, the get out of bed test. What are you going to get your butt out of bed and go do every day? Okay. All the things you're good at, you want to do, you don't want to do. That's first. Second is people. And within that business model, your staff, which we're going to touch on specifically today, customers in the community. What type of people do you want to be around? And then the third is the franchisor. Their people, culture, support, where that comes from, size, depth, all of those things. Today is the staff piece. So one of the things that are typically scariest about owning a business is labor. Guess what? Almost every time you own a business, folks, you're going to have some staff. So we're going to talk about the types of staff and ways in which you can build that team, pros and cons, and understand what a pro is to you may be a con to the next person and vice versa, right? But we always want to see both sides of this. So first and foremost, when we look at staff, there are a few things out there that really can allow you as the owner to start by yourself. There are not many things like that because guess what? That also means you are the doer. And in most cases, that's not the case. But there are a few things. And no, it's one of our biggest kind of no-nos for our clients as we're going through this process is you can't answer a question. Oh, it depends on the business. It depends on you, right? Well, I wouldn't mind starting by myself, but I don't know if I own McDonald's, probably couldn't do it. Well, no, you know what, Sherlock. So there are a few things like that. So that is always a possibility. And if you start by yourself, you can always in anything grow and add and expand from there. So small part of what it could be. One of the other things that you can talk about in there's really kind of 3 main categories of staff. And we go through this with our clients in great detail. The first is pretty simple. It's salespeople. A lot of times, if it's a non-brick and mortar franchise, that owner does tend to take on that customer interaction face of the business role. But doesn't mean you cannot add or hire a salesperson either right away or down the road. So you as the owner, can you envision managing salespeople? Have you done it before? Did you enjoy it? Are you good with doing it again? Okay, that one's pretty easy. The other two are complete opposites. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through how we take our folks through this. So you're getting a little like Fran Coach freebie today, basically. So the other two categories are skilled labor and unskilled labor. So these are opposites. The way I always describe this kind of simple definition, skilled labor, these are your folks that are already licensed, trained, certified to do the job you need them to do. So think about a plumber or an electrician, the girl who cuts the hair at Great Clips. You didn't teach her how to cut hair. She's a licensed cosmetologist and wants to do this. Plug her in and press play. Okay. Skilled labor is also something typically, if I own Great Clips, I should not just sit there, hey, we got an empty chair and some people waiting. Come on over. I got some scissors. I don't have hair, but I'm sure I can cut it. It'll probably be fine. No. Let the skilled folks do their job, right? On the opposite end of the spectrum is unskilled. Unskilled, these are people that you are teaching how to do what you need them to do. So these are learnable tasks, not things that we need to essentially go to school for. Plumber, electrician, cosmetologist, we need schooling specific to that. Unskilled, we don't need anything other than the desire to learn it, okay? These are things that could be, flipping a burger, washing the window, everywhere in between. A lot of times with unskilled, there is the ability for folks to come in at the kind of that bottom rung and level up along the way, learning it more, kind of skills, but more tasks throughout this, okay? Those are the two. So the good and the bad of both sides, pretty much everybody's going to see this. Skilled labor, usually a little stickier once you find them. They've gone to school basically to do whatever the it is. They want a good place in which to practice their craft and their trade. So find them, take good care of them, let them do their thing. And again, usually they're going to be pretty sticky with that. So that's very definitely a positive. The negative and kind of the con on that, people are going to see the other side and go, well, our pool from which to pull for a plumber, electrician, a cosmetologist is much smaller than the pool from which I can pull for a burger flipper. Okay. That's one. The other time, sometimes people are going to go, I don't know if I can manage somebody doing something I can't do. Okay. So again, for some people, that's a con. For others, that's a pro. Okay. That's what we look at there from a skilled standpoint. Unskilled is, again, I think where a lot of the fear comes with labor. Oh my gosh, look at the turnover. Oh my goodness, right? It's so hard to find good people. It's so hard to keep them, etc. Yeah, maybe, right? I'm going to come back to one of the biggest reasons why there's turnover in any business. But you have a much larger pool of potential candidates. Okay. So that's easy. You should be easier to always have a plan B and plan C in place for, again, any turnover. Maybe just somebody gets sick and we need to fill in that for that shift or that role on a particular day or week. Okay. Some people really like the training and development side of things, right? And the mentoring and seeing people, like, give them an opportunity, let them try to run with it and see how you can, again, help them level up and grow. Again, we all had a first job at some point, and like, what was that like? So that is, but those are kind of the pros and cons of both. There are people that are going to see unskilled in particular and have that fear of the turnover. It's so hard to keep people. And I will always come back to when people will talk about labor issues. There's much less a labor issue in this country right now than there is a leadership issue, right? If you have a business and you are having constant turnover, stop pointing your finger at the people that are turning over and take a peek in the mirror, because let me help you there, brother. It's you. It ain't them. Right. So understand that leadership component, and understanding, again, this is why this is so key, is which of these sound better to you. as we kind of present these options to people during the build out phase, most of the time people don't know. They have a little preference one way or the other. And usually when I ask that question, hey, skilled or unskilled, I'll get really three answers. It's like almost like a third. One person's going, man, I love skilled labor. I like the facts, right? They know what they're doing. They're a little bit more professional. Plug them in, let them do their thing. The unskilled, that feels babysitting in the turnover. Great. Next person is going to be the complete opposite. I couldn't possibly manage somebody doing something I can't do. I love the training and mentoring. We're probably going to look more unskilled there. And then you're going to get people that go, yeah, I see both. Like, I'm pretty open. Great. Doesn't matter the answer, but you have to be honest with yourself on that. And as we connect you to franchises, we're almost always going to see things on each of those different angles to really, again, properly educate you on franchise ownership. Skilled, unskilled, combination, sales, what's that look like? We've got to see different options for you to really and truly understand that. Okay. And then we can throw in the big old wild card in all of this is subcontractors. So there are some things probably a little bit more in home service, but not exclusively to that, is we're going to sub out the labor. Okay. You want to talk about people hyperventilating? Oh my gosh, subcontractors. You know how hard it is to find those people? Can't find anybody good. Yes, because you have your homeowner hat on. As a homeowner, it sucks trying to find good people. Okay. So, and all next week, we're going to talk about how franchisors help you finding these, whatever this type of staff is. But this will be one of the things that they're going to help you with, number one. But number two is subcontractors, pros and cons. These are kind of like skilled labor, except they're not employees. So guess what? If they suck, like we don't have any HR crap, we just gone. But these are people that are good at doing the work, enjoy doing the work, don't know how to find the work. Guess what you know how to do as a franchise owner in that particular situation? You know how to find the work. They're going to see you as a meal ticket. Okay. They will do a good job and they will basically like be your horse and horses throughout this. They'll also sometimes be able to refer business to you. Maybe it's something that they can't do, right? They're going to have different contacts throughout this. So it can be a great way. And the other thing with subcontractors, and I always love trying to position this for folks, is because we see the fear as a homeowner, right? What about the other way around, right? So now you've got some remodeling franchise that uses subcontractors, right? And I've reached out to you. I got something on social or in the mail or whatever. I've invited you into my house because I need this done, right? And at some point in there as the homeowner, I'm going to say all of our fears. Man, it is so hard to find good people to do this work. And your mic drop moment at that moment as the franchise owner of that business that's working with subcontractors, you're going to go, I know, because they all work for us. Done and done, because you're gonna have them. Let that be scary now, but it can be a potentially fantastic way for people to grow a business. Could be yourself, could be sales, could be skilled, could be unskilled, could be subcontractors. 5 things, and then any combination thereof. Okay, but this is really one of the truly most defining points in the franchise search is understanding and the openness to see things that, like, I might lean towards skilled, but I didn't completely rule out unskilled. Maybe, in fact, if we look at a skilled and we look at an unskilled, maybe the skilled really is best for you. But you know what probably will happen is you're going to look and go, this unskilled thing's not so bad after all, now that I get it, right? So understanding those things and being open to that. But the people, number one is your role as an owner. Number one, most important thing for you to find your best fit. Number two is people. The customers in the community conversations, and then your team. You got to be around these folks every day, man. Make sure you like them, and it's who you want to be around and managing. Okay. And then the third thing is the franchisor, which we've talked about, but we're going to talk about again here this summer to go in a little bit more depth on this. So that's the piece of the labor. Don't fear it, embrace it. Just understand what's best for you. And really, like, if you're not quite sure, that's what we are here for at Fran Coach, to help you with this. Okay. Next week, we talk about staff and the different types today. Next week is going to be a little bit about how can that franchisor help me as a franchise owner, like, manage these people. Even if I've managed skilled labor before, it's probably not the type in my new franchise business. So what's that look like? And always remember the word help. Franchisors, they ain't doing it for you, folks. They're going to help you with it. And we're going to talk more about that. Okay. That's next week. In the meantime, Franchising 360 show every Friday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Biz TV. All of that stuff is also on our YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out. And when you are ready to learn more and see what your 3 things are that are going to be important and what that ultimate brand might be, and really back that up, should you even own a franchise? The team at Fran Coach are going to help you do that. francoach.net is where you're going to find us. There's never any fee for our service, so let us help you create your better tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.